Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram. Human beings are flawed. It's our nature. We screw up, but we are evolving. At least I like to think so. However, there are times when I look back on the things that have happened in history and I want to say, well, thank God we don't do that anymore. But then I look at the things that we still do and I wonder, when are we ever going to learn? Here's an example. We used to buy and sell people in an open marketplace. It was called slavery, and it has been abolished. That's a good thing. Some would say we still sell people. It's just called sex trafficking. And there are those who would say we still own people, just in more clever ways. And they would be right. We used to burn people at the stake who were accused of witchcraft. And we don't do that anymore. We are flawed, but we are improving, and we have a long way to go. War, for example, that's a big one. We've done it throughout history, and we just keep doing it, even when we know there's a better way. Mass shootings, they've gone from infrequent to frequent, and we can't seem to find a way to stop them. We rape, we murder, and torture each other in the name of religion. I've never understood that one. All that being said, I do believe it's a better world in many ways than it used to be. But it's far from a utopia. I do believe that it is the best time in human history to be alive. But we still do things that make it absolutely miserable. And it begs the question, when will we ever learn?
If we all get together, we can stop hunger and poverty and that kind of thing. We can stop war.
David Keith Greenaway is a man with some big ideas. He's more passionate than I am about trying to make the world a better place. He wants to help advance our society, and he has set out to make a difference.
The whole underlying meaning of my works are to try and bring the earth to a utopian form of nature in ourselves rather than the conflict and, is attrition the right word?
Sure, attrition is a great word. He says there needs to be a fundamental shift in our way of thinking, and he's come up with an example that might be hard for you to visualize at first, but hear him out, because drastic shifts in thinking sometimes require us to use our imagination.
This might sound a little bit quirky or a little bit daft, but it is the truth, because on the other side, or in some people call it heaven, it's like on the other side, I would say. On the other side, everything is peaceful, people get on, people learn things, people grow better. So it's a case of seaming that side into the side we live and it's a case of taking back the reins in this society that we live on this earth for each and every individual. And then when we do that, maybe, hopefully, we can get on with each other better, which is the way things are on the other side.
In 1969, John Lennon said, "Give peace a chance." And we're still saying it. At some point, we do need to listen. David wants to help bring heaven to earth, and he's written a book about how to do it. Now, the book title requires some explanation. It's called aliengg7.co.uk. The first chapters, A Philosopher's Dream 114.
I decided to put the title of the website in the book so that people could check the website out first if they wanted to read some of my writing.
So let's break it down. The first part of the title is aliengg7.co.uk. And when you go there, you'll immediately see the words, "Join the campaign against living miserably." As far as the rest of the title is concerned,
the first chapters is because it's the first parts of the transcript of the website. Then A Philosopher's Dream is what I imagine my idea to be. I gave my book to a local person that lives near me who is quite well read in philosophy and psychology. And after he'd read the book, he actually agreed with me that it is a sort of philosopher's dream, what I'm putting forward. And then 114, that is me taking a step in the tongue-in-cheek direction, because there have been 113 books of God. Apparently, I was told by a person of the Muslim faith, and I'm putting mine forward as 114 if nobody else comes forward with such a book to place in that position.
In it, he says things like, "We all know, well, most of us anyway, what it's like to have no money. Imagine what it would be like if we all had more than enough." Interesting idea. He says we're living in a new age of enlightenment, and we should be focused on our own potential, our creativeness, and putting those things first, setting aside our destructiveness. Because after all, aren't we created in the image of God?
The point of creation was to create beings that were separate and themselves.
So it sounds like we need to better understand who we're supposed to be and then start living up to our potential.
We've been through a period of creation. It's like if you can imagine, say, 2,000 years ago, our brains and the facilities that we had were a lot simpler. Various religions and one thing and another, wars, conflicts, people's imaginations, they've brought us to the point we are in the present day. And I think, having been through this process of creation, one of the things I actually have in my website and in the book is that the creator being, or God, or whoever you like to call that, in the beginning, according to the Bible anyway, we were created in God's image. So therefore, we have a great deal of God inside us as we stand at the present day. Now, the creator being, as I understand it, now wants us to go forward, taking what we have, and this is including the pieces that are left of the perfect idea that was the Garden of Eden, because if the Garden of Eden had been successful, then knowledge of evil and bad wouldn't have existed in society, and if that would have happened, the place would have been a lot different. But now we're left with these pieces that are a result of that situation, plus all the 2,000 years of creativeness that we've been through, to a point where we can now take parts from society or wherever we choose to add them to ourselves, to create something that we are pleasured with as it becomes ourselves, if you follow me.
We've come a long way, and we are so close to realizing our potential. To quote another musician, it was Joni Mitchell who once said, "We've got to get ourselves back to the garden." But is that type of do-over even possible? Funny you should ask. He says there is a place, and it's in our solar system where that is possible. But to get there, we have to behave ourselves.
If anybody goes out about 3 p.m. UK time and looks to the west, they may well see this planet. This planet is being kept somewhere, which might be called God's garage. This planet will be revealed properly and left there for us to inhabit when we actually do seek to live on our world in a way that we should do. Now, if that's not a big enough carrot for people to start behaving, I don't really know what is.
His book and website are called aliengg7.co.uk. The first chapters, A Philosopher's Dream 114 by David Keith Greenaway. David says if you'd like to see a fairer world, take a look at this publication. It's a financial key, a spiritual key, and a new prayer. Look for it at Amazon.com, Xlibris.com, and of course BarnesandNoble.com. There are links in the show's description for you as well. And that will do it for this edition of Newsgram from WebTalkRadio.com.